Here's a look at Michelangelo and how it works and a quick tour of its interface. First off, I want to draw your attention to the upper left-hand corner where you're going to see a number, 903,372. This is the number of distinct alumni, friends, donors, corporations, foundations, etc. that we have in our database. Directly below this number is a list of all the different attributes used to describe these folks. Information on what type of entity are, where their location is, contact preferences, where they've received their degree from, giving information, participation information relative to activities they participated on campus in, or their volunteer or committee membership, as well as membership information relative to our fantastic alumni association. In designing Michelangelo, we looked at close to 2,000 different distinct list requests that we had received over the past decade that were processed in our IT shop. And what we wanted to make sure that we did was provide to our fundraisers roughly 80% of the attributes that were commonly requested in those requests that we had seen. Now, I'm going to walk you through an example of how Michelangelo can be used. So let's imagine someone in the president's office asks our IT department to put together a list of folks in the president's neighborhood for an invitation to a barbecue. And most likely they're going to ask for individuals in Madison Park who have given $100,000 or more to the university. And using Michelangelo, we can get this done in just a few moments. And here's how we do it. First off, we want to take a look at Madison Park. And we're going to do that using Google Maps. We can use Google Maps in two ways. One way is that we can actually go out there and do a address and radius, and the other way is that we can do a custom area. So for example, if we're going to do an address and radius, we could say something like 25 miles of the UW Seattle campus. We'll hit search, and notice that population number on the upper left-hand side. It's 903,000 right now. Watch what's going to happen here in a moment. It's going to drop down pretty substantially. It's going to drop down over half. So what we're saying is within 25 miles of campus, we've got 401,000 entities in our database. Now, for the purposes of this barbecue, obviously way too many, so we're probably going to want to elect to do a custom area. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back in here quickly, and we're going to click on custom area, and we're going to drill down into the Madison Park neighborhood. So as we start to drill down into Madison Park, we will know that we are going to grab everyone to the water and then west to probably the end of the Arboretum. So we'll start up here at the north corner of the Arboretum along 520, go over to the water, continue to come down by Washington Park, down to Denny Blaine, and then we're going to cut over here and back into the Arboretum if we got any houses in that area we want. So that's going to be our custom area for Madison Park. We're going to hit close area and search, and remember, keep an eye on that top left hand corner. So we got 903,000 right now, and by doing this criteria we are going to drop down to probably close to something in the neighborhood of 3,200. Yep, 3,217. So that's the people that are there. Now the next thing is we want to look at how much they've given. So we're going to go over here and apply a giving filter. Here we're going to simply ask Michelangelo to give us anyone who's given 100,000 or more to the UW since 1950 that's in that neighborhood. So we're going to go 1950 here, and we're going to hit update. Now we have about 2 million gift rows that this is going to be searching, and within about a half second it returned to us 136 people that live in Madison Park that have given 100,000 or more to the university. Third, we want to make sure that these folks are active in our database. So we're going to go to status here. And as you may remember, at the beginning you saw this bar chart with a lot more bars in it, but for this one what we can do is we've got some folks that are no UW contact, and if we want to get rid of them, this bar chart's interactive. You click on the bar that you want to remove and it's gone. So that population just dropped by 7. Since it's a presidential event, we may opt to include those people in, and we can simply click on that bar and they're back. So we've got 136 people. And as you can quickly see in just a matter of moments, we went from 903,000 down to that. And what's kind of funny, this is how we actually got the name Michelangelo. When Michelangelo was asked, how did you create the David? He replied, I had a piece of stone and carved away anything that wasn't David. And on a much simpler, albeit scale, and far less elegant, we've taken our database of 903,000 and carved away anyone that didn't look like a $100,000 donor in Madison Park. But to make this number useful, we need to be able to give fundraisers data regarding those 136 folks. So we do this little checkout feature here, where they can actually go to the database and start to ask questions, and we'll kick them out a real nice Excel spreadsheet. So we'll type in President's Neighborhood, and we'll go to Generate Output. What they'll be asked to do now is say, well, what about these folks do you want to know? So from a biographic standpoint, they can go and say, we want to know first name, last name, short name, since there's quite a few people. We can ask about job title, employer. We can ask about any sports that they may have participated. We can also look at contact information, home labels, their business labels, so on and so forth. We can ask about their degrees. We can say, since giving is important to us on this one, we can look at any open pledges that they have, their last 5 gifts to the university, the top 5 schools they've supported at the UW, their lifetime credit amount, and give us roughly the information that we'll need for a briefing packet or to apprise the president of who these folks are that are going to be at his or her barbecue. Click Next, and you'll notice a confirmation page that wraps up what it is that you've done so far. You hit Finish, it hands it off to the system, and within just a few moments it's going to come back here with a really nice looking Excel spreadsheet that contains all the information that our fundraisers have asked for that they're going to need to be able to do their job. And this is going to run just for a moment. This is completed. Output fields. And we'll hit open. There's a small disclaimer that asks our fundraisers to use this for only university business. And here's all the output fields, all the names, down into the addresses, different giving information that we're interested in, all right there. This exercise used to take 30 to 45 minutes to actually do programmatically, and as you saw with Michelangelo, we did it in just a matter of moments. For our fundraisers that are on the go, using their iPad or other touch device, they have access to advancement data regardless of where they're at. So using our Google Map feature when at a conference or down visiting donors could be helpful in identifying where key prospects are relative to the fundraiser's location.